You guys were great. You deserve a big applause. Really. No, you can't applaud yourself. No, I'm kidding. You were great.
And I'm going to give myself a shout out. Thank you to all the cast members who've been doing a wonderful job. Thank you.
Me too, me too, me too. And
Assistant director.
Okay, folks, that wraps another episode. We want you to keep knowing that teens are out there doing positive things.
Building of the Visionary Arts Museum. I have one of our teens, Kevin Tan, who got a great interview at the Youth Congress Conference. Check it out. Hi, Shante Campbell.
Hi, this is Kevin Tan.
For Teens Are Talking at the Visionary Arts Museum. We're here for the International Youth Foundation Congress. Our time is now, and we're here with Mr. Ashley.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing? Thanks for coming.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. So, tell us.
Sure.
How did everything go today?
Sure. Everything went well. We had a youth congress in the afternoon. We had invited about 60 young people from Baltimore City, young leaders from Baltimore City, New York, and Washington, D.C. And also 4 guests who have been profiled in this book, What We're Calling Our Time Is Now. And it was a celebration, a recognition of young people taking action around the globe, no matter whether you're in Baltimore City or in Buenos Aires in Argentina or in UK. So it is a celebration, an acknowledgement of young people taking action and being at the forefront of change. Yeah.
And what made you want to get involved in it?
You know, since I'm from Nepal, a country called Nepal, I'm working at the International Youth Foundation for the last 4 years. And I started my activism actually at the age of 9. We had a king ruling the country, and my family has always been involved in politics, so it was kind of a very normal thing for me to do, to go and to work for democracy in my country. And from 14 and 15, I started radio programs, national network, addressing urgent youth issues in Nepal. I worked with members of parliament in addressing youth needs in Nepal. Then I had the luck to come to this country and did my undergraduate and graduate degree, and fortunately found International Youth Foundation, who works primarily in youth development in about 70 countries. So it's good to when you can mix your passion with your career. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Feeling here.
Yeah.
Right, and this book is such a great reflection of all the great teens that are doing positive things all around the world. And it was introduced by the Bishop Tutu, and it just has such an amazing touch of stories of just teens all around the world doing positive things in the world. And there were some great speeches. I personally feel the Youth Congress Conference has been an extremely great example of what our teens need to be involved in as far as going out in the world and doing positive things and letting the message be known out there that the youth is not useful, but it is hopeful, and they are our future. And you youth need to grab a hold of the life by the horns and take this opportunity to really show everyone out there that you guys are living and are going to be living for a long time. And also to make everything even more spectacular is that, you know, the first World Youth Congress Conference was held here, right here, in your hometown, which is Baltimore. So all you youth out there, locally, worldwide, you guys have a great opportunity to really grab life by the horns and go for it.
I first started my trip going to California, in Petaluma, where there were about 60 young people from the age of 15 to 29, belonging to families of wealth in the United States, who got together in a retreat to talk about how to make this world a better place. Then I went to Mexico and worked with University of Mexico to talk about how to support young social entrepreneurs in Mexico. Then I came back and went to Minnesota in a juvenile correctional facility and met young offenders who had committed crime in their lives but were very still hopeful about making it. They really wanted to succeed in life. Then we went to a peace jam in Minnesota, bringing in together about 300 students from the schools in Minnesota who were talking about how to build peace in the world. And then we went to Seattle in a lakeside school and heard about a new global citizenship program where they're trying to build a sense of citizenship among its students. And this evening, we came back this morning at 3 o'clock. And this evening is the culmination of what it is all about. It is a celebration of the spirit of young people. And it is a celebration of recognizing young people who have taken action in their communities. You know, before I introduce the young leaders who we have here today, I would like to share a story which I had. And this little girl, I never will forget in my life her name, Buku Igluku, 15 years old girl, comes and sits next to me. And she asked me, first question, are you HIV positive? And I was pretty shocked. I'd never had that question in my life before, not in the first meeting. I said, I'm not. Are you? And then she said, I'm not, but he is, she is. She showed 3 young people in that team who were HIV positive. And you know, I believe that one of the biggest problems in HIV/AIDS battle is the stigma. So I asked Buku, is it okay that you're playing with them? And she said, you know, my parents say it's not okay. My teachers say not, it's okay. But she said she's been my friend for the last 6 years. And she was raped at the age of 9. And she said, how could I not play with her? I love her. And she said, I have convinced all 17 of my friends to keep on playing with her. And I broke down because for me she was Mother Teresa, she was Mahatma Gandhi. Because of pure compassion and love for another human being, she's fighting a battle as I talk today. So as organizations, as individuals, as citizens of this world, we should never, ever dare to allow these young people to be defeated in the battle they have raged against injustice, whether it's economic, political, social, or civic. So thank you once again for joining us to celebrate that spirit of young people that we have today.
So what do you think of the America?
would I think about it? You know, United States is a great country. You should be lucky that you're living in this country. But at the same time, as every country has its own flaws, of course, this country has its own flaws too. I truly believe that this country provides people to live their dreams, to grab the opportunity and to be successful. But at the same time, I think one of the things which I've realized in this country is that the systems is not allowing young people to be very active in the communities. And I don't know what the reason is yet so far, but you know, before I came here, I was in Minnesota and Seattle in high schools talking to different young people, and they were so inquisitive in volunteering and starting projects and everything. So they're finding ways to be involved in the communities. So I think systems need to be very responsive to the demand that exists out there for young people to be social entrepreneurs, business entrepreneurs, or young people being just active in the communities. So yeah, but great country to live in. I've always respected. You know, one of the things which I didn't find in my own country is that if I worked in a restaurant, people would look down upon me. But here the work is valued a lot, which I absolutely appreciate. So for young people in Baltimore City in the United States, you got to just grab the opportunity this country has to give, and just build a good community, and at the same time always try to question when something is wrong. That's right. Yeah.
There you go. Words to live by. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, and thanks for coming. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, good luck. Thank you.
Saving the best part of the show, we have just exquisite, extremely great, positive young people that gave a speech at the Congress. Check out this person's speech.
Hello, my name is Jocelyn and I am from Canada. I'm from Ottawa, which is just north of New York. And the reason why my project is profiled in the book is because 4 years ago, like probably many of you in this room, I took a
Color, religion, what your background is, you're a teen, you're a young person, the future is in your hands, make it bright. Now, let's check out this last young person.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Marjan, and I was born and raised in India, and I moved to the U.S. at the age of 15 to San Jose, where I went to high school, and recently moved to Washington, D.C. to pursue my doctorate in anthropology. And the reason I'm actually writing this book is when I was 16 years old in high school, I came out of the closet as gay in high school and dealt with a lot of homophobia, and like every day it became more and more prevalent, and started realizing that something had to change, something had to give, because I got to a point where I could not go to school anymore and deal with the fact that deal with the sort of the homophobia that came from coming out, or being the sort of one of the only people on my campus to come out. And what I did was I sort of took a step towards changing the situation, which started very, very small. I actually started my first Gay Straight Alliance on campus, which did really, really well in terms of changing people's mindsets and creating the kind of change that was needed, and especially bringing up issues of marginalization that a lot of young gay and lesbian people face today. And there was this time in high school, and this is when I've been here, I was fairly successful in getting the Gay Straight Alliance up and running. There was a time in high school when I woke up one day, went to school, and I heard the news that Matthew Shepard had been murdered, and it was really tragic. I was really sad about it. And I went to my classes as usual, and two or three of my professors, or my teachers at that time, pulled me aside, and they told me that they were really concerned about my safety. And they wanted me to not be so outspoken and not be so vocal about my sexual identity, about the type of activism that I was doing at high school. And even though I was very appreciative of the fact that they were very concerned about my safety, it was at that moment that I realized that silencing of those queer people's voices, the one person who was advocating for gay and lesbian rights, instead of talking to the rest of the class about homophobia, about hate crimes that are committed against gay and lesbian people, and that silencing of that is where homophobia comes from. In that silencing, it doesn't appear from, people calling each other names. It comes from the silencing of the gay and lesbian voices. And from there on, from that day on, I was committed that I wanted to make my voice as a gay person heard and the voices of other gay people heard. And as I moved on to college, I discovered that media or filmmaking was a wonderful tool to accomplish what I wanted to do. And I started out with $200 in my pocket and a small film, and very, frustrated and angry and sort of loads of mixed feelings about having gone through this whole experience in high school and wanting to just get it out of me, and wanted to create something productive out of it. I made a film called Everything. It was an 8-minute film. And the film basically follows, it's a silent film. There's only music and there's no words in it. And the film basically follows, it's sort of like an autobiographical film, follows the life of this young Indian gay guy and it goes through the sort of the issues that, it's a day in the life of a young Indian gay guy and the different issues that he faces throughout the day, starting from homophobia in high school to relationships to marginalization because of his religion and ending at wanting to commit suicide. And since then, the film has played at like 6 different countries all around the world, and it is actually in the process of being screened in all over UK at the moment. It played in Canada, it played in India, it played all over the US, and it was one of the most successful films I've made in my career as a filmmaker so far. My last film project was, sort of to give a comparison, my last film project was about $100,000. And, but I still tell people that $200 film that I made with a handheld camera, with no resources, with nobody to support me in what I was doing, is still spoke to people who had seen the film in a way that, none of my other, or it just had this meaning behind it. And it was at that moment that I realized how much power media holds in informing our society and changing people's mindsets. And I don't wake up in the morning and I don't make a film with the intentions of changing the world. I've never thought about, oh, today I'm going to make a film that's going to change the world. What I hope is that my films will affect people on a sort of a micro level. It will create these disturbances, these intellectual disturbances on a very micro level, so that when they go home that night, they will think about what it's like to be gay, or what are the issues related to being gay. And it's from there, it's from that sort of intervention, on that micro level intervention, that you start changing people's mindsets, and from there is where social change occurs. And that's what I did, and that's what I've been doing since then, and have been very successful, and I'm very thankful to IYF for having supported my work over the past 3 years, and yeah.
That's a young, and might I put emphasis on young, filmmaker. Already has a film out there. He's a filmmaker. Steven Spielberg, filmmaker. That could be you. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's very, very great. And as I promised you, I would show you a young filmmaker in the making, and is making. Have the future. Make it out of something. Make it bright. Make it positive. You saw 4 teens who did that, who made it positive, and are still continuing to make it positive by having you all teens to join on as well, to do positive in the world. There is good that can be done in the world, and it can be done by you. So get out there, get up, do something, and don't let your lives turn into nothing. So stop fronting and get out there and do something. So this is Shantae Gamble reporting. See you next Shantae Campbell, and welcome back to Teens Are Talking. And today we're going to be talking about love.
Aww.
Anybody ever been in love? You guys are too young to be in love. I've never been in love.
Aww.
It's all good though. But anyway, I'm with my group of kids again, all my teens, and we're going to get in one of those tight discussions again, I'm sure. So I'm all ready. I'm all ears. I hope you guys are too. So stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Teens Are Talking. We're not talking, we're laughing. But anyway, we're going to talk about love today. It's a touchy subject with teens, so relationships, the opposite sex. So we're going to get into that. I got my panel with me, my teens. I got Rebecca, Stephen, Sarah, Allison, Tiffany, and Carissa. All right, so who wants to start?
I will.
Okay. Hands start going up. All right, go ahead, Rebecca.
I love Valentine's Day. It's just like my favorite holiday completely.
Really?
Yes, I love Valentine's Day.
I
Usually
dread
I
it.
don't have a Valentine,
Yeah.
but I love them.
Aww. See, I dread it because I don't ever have a Valentine.
Yeah, well, it's depressing when you don't.
Yeah.
Hey, your friends can be your Valentine too.
Sure.
Well, I tried that and it made me feel even more single.
Like that program.
It makes you feel like you can't get anyone, so your friend's your Valentine.
No, supportive friends.
Yeah.
I like Valentine because, you know, Starburst make these good jelly beans that is so good and they come out once a year. I really like jelly beans because I can't eat chocolate. Chocolate breaks me out or whatever. But yeah, I like Valentine. Most of the time on Valentine's Day, I just, well, now I can hang out by myself. I usually hang out with my mom, do stuff with her, go to the movies or something like that.
Aww.
Hang out with her. But now, I hang out by myself this Valentine's Day, go to the movies or go out to dinner probably, something like that. Yeah.
So what's it like for a guy when it's Valentine's, since you're only guy in here?
What
Because,
is
you know,
it?
us girls, we're so emotional. We are. We just have so many feelings. But
Well-
guys, you guys just, whatever. You know.
Well, most guys feel like, oh, they don't need Valentine's Day.
Mhm.
But some guys like me, I wouldn't mind cuddling with somebody on Valentine's Day, spending time with them, throw my arm around someone at the movie theaters or something like that. But most guys do like Valentine's Day just another day. It's just another day to spend money on y'all. That's what it is. Another day for y'all to get money out my pocket. Most guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. So most guys break up on girls around about Valentine's Day just so they ain't got to buy.
That is so rude.
Yeah, girls
True.
are guys
True.
on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Right after Valentine's Day, they say, baby, I love you. I want you back. Yeah, wasn't buying anything.
No, the day afterwards. That's what you have to do.
I want my money back.
Yeah, you know, everything gets expensive Valentine's Day. Yeah, probably like me work, but you know, that's a little expensive.
But Jack
Teddy
got the
bears, balloons, that's like.
jewelry.
Last Valentine's Day, that was the one Valentine's Day out of my whole life that I actually had a boyfriend and he bought me nothing.
Oh my god.
He bought me like a lollipop. It was like in a heart shape. I was like, gee, thanks.
Yeah, but it's the thought that counts. Everybody puts Valentine's Day into like, you know, get me something, whatever. I think like maybe handmade stuff is like better. Because then it's like actually from the heart.
From the heart.
Yeah,
That's what
instead of
I was
like,
gonna
you
say.
know, buying some expensive, you know, like some big teddy bear that, I mean, really, what are you going to do with this huge
Just gonna
teddy
sit
bear?
there.
Yeah, it's teddy bears with the
Yeah.
magnetic
Yeah.
lips. You know those teddy bears with the magnetic lips and they like kiss each other? They're
Oh
so
yeah, those
cute.
are so cute though.
Yeah,
I like
those
those.
are cute.
Tiffany, what you think the perfect gift would be for a woman? Female.
Oh.
A car.
Oh, come on, she's expensive.
Yeah, you're a little stretching it there, Tiff.
Okay, maybe some jewelry matching.
Okay.
Well, see, that's why guys make a Valentine's Day. Jury expensive.
And some candy. Candy's good.
Costume jewelry.
The perfect present though, it would be like for me, roses sent to my house with like a card where they wrote a poem for me.
Expensive.
Yeah.
Expensive. Delivering roses expensive.
Cheap.
Just you know what cheap flowers?
And run away.
You know what cheap flowers is?
Like,
Delivering
just get them and then ring the doorbell and run away. No, take the flowers from the garden. You're knocking on the door and then like you got the roots and stuff all there. Happy Valentine's Day.
What about the bottom line of it, the relationship part of it? I mean, you guys are young, but I know that's like a really, really big thing when you get into the adolescent age, you know, and you start talking to the guy, he's cute, and they start looking at the girl, she's cute.
I was I'm talking to guys now.
But hey, you got some that do that,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
so, you know, it's you
Hey,
know,
it's not a
it's
bad thing,
everything.
Right,
yeah.
right.
It, you know what I
Don't
mean?
be dissing it.
Right, you know, I'm just saying that you have, at y'all's age, it's a big thing, you know, when you start getting up there, you know, you got the guys and the girls, and that's just the way it is. So, I want to know, how do you guys handle it nowadays? I mean, I'm only 23, so I'm not that far away from it. I pretty much think it's the same. Some of our guys who are 23 still act like they're 14, so I think we could probably still, you know, feed into each other here, but what is it like now for you guys in middle school? I mean, is it still the same? Are girls approaching the guys now? The
Oh
guys still
no,
approaching
that's
the
not my
girls?
thing. I'm
I think you
old.
should.
No, I think I'm kind of
I
old-fashioned.
do.
I think that the boy should approach the girl. I mean, I think we should, you know, some things should be 50-50, but I think like actually approaching someone and getting together, I think that's the boy's job. Yes, I said I think it's the boy's job.
If the guy
Yeah.
is afraid to do it and the girl,
Yeah.
and the guy's like flirting with you and you know he
Guys
likes
are
you, well then go
scared.
ahead and
Yeah.
say something.
You look like you're desperate if you're sitting there like, oh, come on. No, you know
Well, I don't know. I mean, it
No.
just depends. I mean,
Ew.
okay, say you're in school, you know, you see Kevin over there, you think he's cute. I mean, it's okay for you guys at your age to say, oh, can you have my girl go hook us up? You know, can
No,
you talk
that is just no, that is
But
stupid.
it's okay for you guys.
No, okay. If you're like trying to
guys
get
are
into a
young.
little relationship, little adolescent relationship, like you can't have your friend. Yeah, you can't have your friend
So
like.
then what do you
you
do?
can't be like, hey, you know, she's trying to go out with.
You can't always wait for the guy though. You could be waiting forever.
What do you do? I mean, there are guys that are so, like, they don't come up to you.
I mean, no, okay.
Well,
These
you
guys
know,
are supposed to be
Tell his
together.
friends.
What I see a lot of now, the guy go beat up on the girl, knowing he like and just hit and play wrestle. But nowadays, the girls beat up on the guy,
Yeah.
trying they like him.
Yeah.
They beat him up, beat him down.
And
wait for him to
nowadays,
school.
guys like girls who are aggressive, I found out.
Yeah.
They like the girls to chase
Yeah.
them, to come after them.
Well,
So you can't wait the old-fashioned way, waiting on them. You'll be
No, I
waiting
mean,
forever.
Some
You
guy
know?
like Rodney King beat somebody, some guy like a beat and all that. Some guy like a rough. I mean,
it is. It's changed. Some
Baseball
guys
bat
like
type
girls
girl.
to be,
No.
they want them to come after
That's
them.
psycho. That's psycho right there. Somebody chasing up you. Hey, I like you.
Aggressive.
That's not my thing.
You don't have to be